Hey Tactics, so for week 4 we're going to be going over preparation for this year's field training exercises, also known as FTX. So we're going to start with gear breakdown. We're going to go over all the gear that you've been issued. Then we're going to get into field hygiene, so just general personal upkeep for the FTX. And then we're going to go over the schedule. So first up, your gear. The first major thing is going to be your ruck. So there's two major types of rucks that you could get issued. The first one's going to be your Alice packs. These ones are older. These ones are from the 1970s, and they have a metal frame and generally a single bag, and they are less adjustable and they have a lot less room. And the other one, the newer ones, are going to be the Molly rucks, and usually you're going to see these in the UCP pattern, which is the digital one, and those are going to have much more customization, and you can actually fit these to your body, and that'll probably be a whole nother lesson on how to properly set up your ruck. But this is going to be the main component. And this is what you're going to carry everything in for FTX. So everything you bring has to fit in this bag. PT belts, these you're going to use to put on your ruck. If you're doing something late at night or early in the morning when it's dark out, these are reflective. And you just attach these to yourself or to your ruck so you're easier to spot. Next one's going to be gloves, and you're going to use these, one for warmth. It probably won't be too cold at FTX, but it might get chilly sometime later in the semester. But also to protect your hands when you're crawling through brush or high crawling or low crawling. You might cut your hand on something, so leather gloves you'll wear sometimes in the field. Next is going to be eye pro, same lines as the tactical gloves. This is so you don't get stuff in your eyes, especially if you're doing light night land nav and you run into a tree branch or something. These are going to protect your eyes. And you will get issued these likely at FTX. Ear Pro is mostly used if you're shooting, and these are just single use. You'll get them right before you need to use them. You'll put them in your ears, and after that you'll dispose of them. And what you do is you just squeeze the orange end, you'll stick them in your ear, and they'll expand to protect your hearing. Alright, the next big piece of gear is going to be your flick. Most of you will get a flick, some of you will get a tap system. This vest looking thing here is the flick, so you'll notice it has molly webbing. That's the name of these strands that you can weave things through, and that's to weave pouches through. So you're going to get canteen pouches, grenade pouches, and magazine pouches, and you're going to attach those to this flick, and you'll wear it like a vest. And that'll just be a mechanism for you to put things that won't fit in your pocket, but you'll have easier access than you would with your ruck. So here are those patches. You take these and you will weave them through the vest, so you'll have more room to carry things. So your stuff sack and your sleep system, this is what you're going to be sleeping in. So it's going to come in 4 parts. The first one is the black sleeping bag, which is for cold weather. The green one is for moderate weather. And then this thing right here, it's called the bivy cover, and that is a waterproof, basically envelope that you'll put your sleeping bag in to protect it from getting wet at night. Because if it's raining or if there's lots of dew, your sleeping bag will get wet, and that's going to be a hazard because it will make you very cold. So that's what the bivy cover is. And then this all supposedly fits in this black sack called a stuff sack, and you pack everything in there and you cinch it down. I would recommend personally not using the stuff sack. It looks like this, and the problem with the stuff sack is it's likely that some of your clips are going to be broken, so it's not going to tighten evenly, as well as it's going to make a really weird shape in your ruck that's going to be hard to pack around. So I would recommend bring your stuff sack, but don't put anything in it. The next thing is going to be your wet weather gear. This is going to be used if it's raining, but it's not supposed to rain at this FTX, so I wouldn't worry too much about it, but that's what these are. These fit over your OCPs as just a way to waterproof yourself. Another option for that is your poncho, which looks like this. If you've worn a poncho, it's the same idea. And then this is what's called a woobie. It's also known as a poncho liner, so this in theory attaches to the inside of the poncho to give you further insulation. It also makes a very good blanket in addition to your sleep system, so you could use it for that purpose. Another use for your poncho is if you are sleeping outside in the field and there is going to be a lot of dew or rain, you can place your poncho on top of your ruck overnight, and that will keep it mostly dry. So that's another use for your poncho. Next, we're going to go into field hygiene. This is pretty self-explanatory stuff. But there's always going to be that one guy that does not follow these hygiene procedures, and you will be able to notice. So the first one is toothbrush. In the morning, you're going to be rushed. You're going to have a lot of things to do. especially like eat breakfast, get yourself ready for the day. Don't neglect to brush your teeth. Don't be that guy. Along those same lines is deodorant. Lots of people we're going to be in the field for about 60 hours at FTX. Lots of people are going to think that, they don't need deodorant for that time. You definitely will, and people will be able to notice if you're not. So, bring deodorant, wear it. It should not be that difficult. And then the next thing is going to be baby wipes. So there's not going to be any showers at FTX, and it's probably going to be hot and you'll be sweating. So what you can do is you can take baby wipes and you can use them to give yourself a makeshift bath. So wipe down the areas that you're collecting sweat and you're getting all gross. It'll make you feel better, and it's just going to make you overall more clean. So that's something you can do with baby wipes. The next one is shaving. Males, you're going to be shaving in the field, and what you should do is use your canteen cup. It's a metal cup, and you'll pour your canteen water in there, and you'll use that water to shave. And then if you so desire, bring a mirror, but lots of people will just use their phone. So same as you shave at home, you'll be doing it in the field as well. And then change of clothes. You definitely need to change your socks and underwear and your tan tee at least every day. You're going to be sweating. Lots of people will not do it in order to save time. You need to do that for your own personal hygiene and for everyone else. And then for females, make sure your hair is styled the same way that it always has to be in uniform. So, it's not past your shoulder blades and it has a neat, tidy appearance. And then the last little bit is going to be the schedule for FTX. So this is going to be tentative. So on day 1, which is going to be Thursday the 28th, we're going to leave Champaign. First formation's at 06. We're going to leave Champaign around 07, so we can arrive at Sparta at around 1000. After that, day 1 is going to be all land nav. So after we get there, you're going to have lunch. They're going to give preparation for land nav, and then we're going to be doing it. So likely how it's going to work is MS1s and MS2s will be paired in small groups of maybe 3 or 4, and you're going to go out and do your land nav. You'll have about 3 hours or so to do it, and you'll get in, go find your points, and you'll come back. MS3s will be doing this by themselves, so they will not be with a group. Also, just a side note, there's going to be a lot of walking at land nav, so make sure your boots are broken in or you're going to get serious blisters. So, the land nav is going to continue into the night. So what that means is during your second iteration of points, it might be getting dark and you'll come back, and then you'll have a separate set of night points. So it's going to be pitch black out there at FTX, so you need to prepare yourself mentally to do that. If you've never been away from places with bright lights, there's no street lights, it's going to be pitch black. But MS1s and 2s are going to be paired with a proficient MS4 just to make sure that they're on the right track, they're safe, and they're not going to get lost. So, night land nav, it's going to be very safe, it just might be a new experience. After land nav, we'll be sleeping in these wooden huts. So day 2 is going to be all tactical lanes. So you're going to be going over hand grenades, you're going to be going over squad tactics, patrol bases, all that sort of thing. It's going to be a long day, but if you came to play Army, this is exactly what you're looking for. And then at the end of the day, we're going to be doing paintball. So night 2, originally I thought we would be sleeping on the ground. That may or may not be true. We will potentially be sleeping in those huts again, but that's a decision that will be made at some point later. And then day 3, the final day, is going to be our high ropes course. So it looks like this. Everyone's going to do it. It's a great time, and it's just sort of a nice end of FTX challenge for yourself. It might be a little bit difficult, but it shouldn't be too hard, and it'll be a nice end to FTX, and we should be back in Champaign around 1700 on that Saturday. So that is the end of our week 4 slides. I hope this has prepared you more for field training exercises. We will not be meeting on Monday the 25th, but we will be meeting after FTX.